So everyone wants to know, how much Cardano ADA do you actually need to make life-changing money? Not a vague answer today. I'm going to give you the numbers, real math, and trust me, the numbers will shock you. Cardano has been one of the most talked about cryptos. Some people say 1,000 ADA is enough. Others claim you need 100,000 ADA. But who's right? Let's break it down in today's video. First of all, before we get into all of that wonderful stuff, let's check out the market cap of crypto. It's standing at $4.1 trillion. We've had 0.98% increase in the past 24 hours. We had the Fed interest rate cut of 25 basis points, another correct prediction that we've made here on this channel, calling that over 8 months ago that September we would see a rate cut and it would be 25 basis points. Really good predictions over the last 24 months we've had here really. Bitcoin's at 117,215.42 is up 0.35% in the past 24 hours. We're here to talk about Cardano though, is up 4.59% in the past 24 hours and sits at 91.5 cents. If we actually have a look at Cardano ADA, I've talked about this a few times on the channel. It has outperformed Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many others. Chainlink's another one, right? It's up 175.36% in the past year. And if we actually go back and have a look at Bitcoin, even with its move to the upside today, is only up 94.75% in the last 12 months. So when it comes to how much Cardano ADA you need in order to perhaps retire or become a millionaire, here's the issue. Most people throw random numbers around without actually calculating future market caps, realistic price targets, or comparing Bitcoin and Ethereum's growth without the math. You're just guessing, let's be honest, right? And let's just throw some numbers out there. If Cardano ADA hits just $5, then 1,000 ADA equals $5,000. 10,000 ADA equals $50,000, and 100,000 ADA equals $500,000. But if Cardano ever reaches Ethereum's past peak, say $4,000, the numbers get absolutely insane. Even holding just 1,000 Cardano ADA could set you up. Now, I'm not trying to say you need to buy crazy amounts of ADA. What's enough depends on your goals, what financial freedom is, a side income, or just a shot at generational wealth. There's a number for each of those scenarios. And here's the wild part. Most people chasing 100,000 ADA don't realize they might not nearly need that much. The real magic number for financial freedom could be much lower. So stay tuned as we get into all of the numbers. Now I wanted to give you a bit of a flavor of what is out there, what people are saying. We've got one article here, right? Cardano price prediction, how much ADA will you need to retire by 2027? As experts tip Cardano ADA to blast past $2. So in this particular article, they talk about if ADA was to reach $2 by 2027, that would represent nearly 4 times gains from the current levels at the time this article was written a few weeks back. To retire with $500,000 by then, you would need approximately 250,000 ADA tokens today, an investment of just over $144,000 at the current prices this article was written. Now look, that seems like a lot of money, probably out of the reach of most people, and I think that actually $2 isn't even its previous all-time high. And look, I've got to put it out there, right? There are articles out there right now talking about various different price targets. So let's have a look at those. We've got this article here. It says Cardano ADA to $3, how September rate cuts could trigger a surge. And obviously we did call the 25 basis point rate cut. So a $3 price prediction for Cardano ADA, probably quite realistic. I mean, it's below its previous all-time high. So we already know an inferior Cardano ADA, and what I mean by this is a Cardano ADA project ecosystem that doesn't have the capabilities of the Cardano ecosystem today, right? Access to Bitcoin's liquidity through the Bitcoin bridge, scalability solutions coming, midnight, the compliance privacy chain coming, right? The layer of compliant privacy, which is a requirement if you want to bring in mainstream adoption. So you've got these big improvements and updates coming for Cardano ADA that makes it far superior than what it was when it was at its previous all-time high. So it wouldn't be beyond reasonable to expect a $3 Cardano ADA price, bearing in mind it's been higher in the past. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. Treat this as entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. Never invest more than you're willing to lose, because you do risk losing all of your money. Nothing's guaranteed in crypto, and that same goes for any financial instrument. So just so we're clear on that. But other price predictions here, or examples as I like to frame them: long-term price target of $5 among community members for Cardano ADA. So there's people talking about a $5 Cardano ADA price prediction. And again, is this something that's reasonable? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think a $5 Cardano ADA price prediction is achievable, right? Because I'm going to dig into what AI is saying. I'm going to dig into how much you actually need in a moment, but I want to kind of give you the idea of what the price predictions out there are at the moment. And look, they say traders are dreaming about a $5 target. Now, is it just a dream? Is it a pipe dream, or is it really possible? Again, let's dig into what it would be if it was to actually hit $5, how much ADA you would need to retire or to be a millionaire. So we've got ADA price prediction here, mirrors historical bull run pattern, could reach a whopping $7 for this ADA project, this coin, this token. Could it reach $7? Again, this article is indicating that it very well could do. And look, if it does, I think personally, a $7 Cardano ADA price prediction, for that to actually come to fruition this bull run, you need a road that you're going to drive down. It needs to have no divots, bumps, hurdles, barriers, anything in the way. It needs to be a clear, brand new tarmac road, impeccable road, for it to actually come to fruition for me, right? I think $7 is such a high target for this bull run. Look, I'm not saying it's not possible. Nothing's guaranteed in crypto, right? But that is the absolute pinnacle, the highest I could ever envision it going this bull market, right? But everything has to go according to plan. It needs to be plain sailing. It needs to be blue sky world. But with all of that, I'm not going to say it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible. Let me know if you agree, disagree, right? Again, XRP to $7 and Cardano ADA to $14. I mean, $14 according to Elliott wave theory. There is some huge upside, right? So, I mean, that's just crazy, right? If you were to, say it was to get to $14, you would need 71,429 Cardano ADA, roughly, right? Just to give you some math on that. I mean, I don't think this bull run, $14 is gonna happen. I don't think it's possible. By 2030 though, possibly. But again, everything needs to be impeccable. All the roadmap needs to be delivered. And if it does, then why can't it? And I'm interested. If you don't think by 2030, $14 price prediction for Cardano ADA could come to fruition by 2030, let me know, and let me know the important part. Why? Why can't it? Let me know. Expert predicts XRP price for 2030 with Cardano to $30. So could Cardano ADA reach $30? I mean, to reach $1 million, right, you would need, get this, 33,333.3333 ADA in order to become a millionaire by 2030. Again, is it possible? These are the questions I'm asking you, right? Like, is it possible? I'm gonna give you my views, my opinions, and how much I think you need at the end of this video. But let me know, like, do you agree that $30 is possible by 2030, right? You've got Cardano price prediction. Can Cardano still reach a $100 price? Again, they haven't put a time frame on it, but could Cardano ADA reach $100? Now, if it did reach $100, you would just need, get this, you would just need 10,000 Cardano ADA to be a millionaire. Like, how crazy is that? Is it possible? I'm on the fence. I don't think it is. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I am. There's nothing guaranteed, right? I don't think it's impossible. I never say anything's impossible these days with, you know, what I've been through in my life. So is it possible? Why not? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. And we're finally getting to the point, right? Will Cardano make millionaires again? It's already made millionaires. How much ADA do you need to hit $1 million? And in this article, they're talking about $5.60, and they've given us some price targets. ADA needed to reach $1 million. At 63 cents, you would need 1.587 million. You can see that on the screen there. At $1.24, you'd need 806,452 ADA. And if it reached $5.60, you would need 178,571 Cardano ADA. According to, you know, this article, these are the price predictions they're calling out, right? And look, I've even gone as far as asking AI, and let's have a look at what AI is predicting before I give you my thoughts and my opinions on it. So this is what I've put into AI. What does AI think to this? How much Cardano ADA is required by 2030? So this is basically AI's consensus here, what current predictions say, and obviously we've gone through some of those already, right? So forecasting are all over the place, $2 to $3.50, $5 to $10, depending on how bullish you are. We've got the major risks and variables. Before going on, these are things that could make predictions wrong. Regulatory development globally could help or hurt the predictions. Competition from other layer 1/layer 2 blockchains. Real usage. This is DeFi, smart contracts, NFTs, or whatever killer app ADA ends up with. Macro factors, interest rates, inflation, global economy, crypto market cycles, technology, execution, upgrades, scaling, and security are just some of the risks and variables. AI's forecast how much ADA you need by 2030, given those predictions plus risks. Here's what I think the AI are plausible scenarios, right? And how much Cardano ADA you'd need under each to hit certain goals, e.g. financial freedom, large returns. Scenario projections for 2030. Scenario, the base case is that ADA reaches between $3 and $5. And this is very much where I actually sit, right? So I don't know if the AI, because I use it all the time, is going, you know, on the base case because of what I put into it quite a lot. Cardano ADA has grown, adoption solid, some regulatory clarity, moderate DeFi, NFT and application growth gives us that kind of price range. Now the bullish case is $8 to $12. Big adoption, good governance. ADA is one of the big players. Macro tailwinds favor crypto. Then we got the conservative case, right? $1.50 to $3. Growth is slow, competition eats market share, perhaps regulatory and macro limits. So again, just really interesting stuff. We won't go into how much ADA might, you might need. Again, that's talking about how much you need to retire, based on a 50K salary, assuming that you sell 5% per year and so on. But the best guess, right? Because this, forecasting, this is all guesswork. It's just educated or uneducated, right? Nothing's guaranteed in crypto. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, just for clarity. If I were you and believed in ADA's roadmap, I would plan around something like $8 to $10 by 2030. I'm a bullish but realistic case. That means holding a size that if ADA hits that, gives you a nice return, but doesn't bankrupt you if it doesn't go the way you anticipate. For example, holding 10,000 Cardano ADA, if ADA equals $10, that gives you 100,000. Not life-changing, but still solid. If you wanted $1 million target, maybe around 100,000 ADA. So look, I want to give my take on it now. It's all well and good talking about Cardano ADA, the AI's predictions, every man and his dog's predictions, right? But I'm going to go absolute blue sky, what is possible, but very touch and go whether it actually come to fruition or not. For me, I think $5 Cardano ADA for this bull run is about where you need to be, which basically means, right, if you were, looking to become a millionaire, so you wanted $1 million this bull market, right? I'm basically saying, based on my forecast, my educated guess, not guaranteed to happen, nothing's guaranteed, I'm not a financial advisor, treat this as entertainment or even educational content, something in between, I kind of feel. 200,000 Cardano ADA, based on my prediction, would mean $1 million, right? That's kind of my prediction. Now, when it comes to 2030, I want to be quite clear. I'm kind of around the $15 mark, right? So $15 mark, you would need 66,666.666666667 Cardano ADA in order to reach that $1 million mark. Now, look, you becoming a millionaire, you being able to retire, they are two completely different things, right? And there's lots of different, metrics, lifestyle, age, how much you're currently earning, what size pension you've got, what assets you've got. There's so many variables that would determine how much ADA you would actually need. So what I would always suggest is saying, okay, how much do I need as an individual? Because only a financial advisor can really tell you that. They would need to sit down with you. They need to understand you as an individual. They need to work out how much you would need based on your lifestyle and what you're looking for, right, in your life. And everybody's different. I'm different. You're different. Nick's different. Our team are different. The community are different. Everybody is an individual. And that's why this can't be financial advice, right? It's just my opinions, my views on the market and my predictions, best guesses, right, on where I think things are going. And with all of that, I can only kind of say, if you wanted to work out, you would need to say, okay, I need $2 million, $3 million to retire. Okay, where do I think the price is going to go? $15, right? I need X amount in order to be able to retire. And at least that gives you a goal. It gives you something to grab at, which was the idea of the thumbnail, right? It gives you something to live for, to strive for. And look, we've got to do our own research. We've got to look at the projects. Look, does it have longevity? Is it doing real world stuff? Is it actually going to be around in 2030? Because there's talk that 99%, not 99.9, 99% of altcoins are going to go to zero, disappear over time. Now, what I'm saying is that still leaves over 300,000 altcoins, right? If 99% disappear. So probably likely, right? But it's probably 99.9% that will disappear, right? And it'll probably leave 30,000 or so altcoins, right, that are actually doing something. Maybe less, maybe far less. Let me know who your predictions on that. But what I would say is, there is no right or wrong answer to this, right? How much you need, how much to be a millionaire. It's all based on where you believe the market's going. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Do take it as light-hearted. Take everything I say with a pinch of salt. It's just my opinion, my views on the market. I hope you found it entertaining. I hope you found it useful in some way. And yeah, join us in the free educational Discord where I give my views, my opinions, my predictions. The link is in the description of the video, and I look forward to having more meaningful conversations with you in the free Discord. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.